A Midsummer Night's Dream, Part 2. Oberon then gets the muddle sorted out by setting the wrong right in case of all Athenians by removing the spell of potion from Lysander, restoring his love for Hermia. Oberon also feels the need to release Titania from this spell as he feels sorry for her, and his purpose of obtaining the Indian boy is also served. He orders Puck to restore Bottom's head. Theseus, Hippolyta, and Aegeus enter and see the four Athenians. It is the day of declaration of Hermia about her decision, but the Duke relents to see the love between Demetrius and Helena and happily allows Hermia marry Lysander. In the final scene, the joyous lovers appear on the scene and Theseus decides it is time to plan the festivities and chooses to see hilarious play, Pyramus and Thisbe, performed. At the end, Oberon and Titania with their fairies and elves come to sing, dance and bless the marriage. Thus the play, A Midsummer Night's Dream, ends on a happy note. Synopsis of the extract. Act 3rd, Scene 2nd. Another part of the wood. Oberon enters wondering what Titania saw first when she waked. Puck comes to report what has happened and is praised by Oberon for his part in the affair of Titania and Bottom. But when Demetrius and Hermia appear and quarrel, Oberon realizes that Puck has anointed the wrong Athenian. Demetrius lies down to sleep and Hermia goes away. So Oberon sends Puck to find Helena and bring her, while he himself reoints the eyes of Demetrius so that he will fall in love with the right girl. But when Helena arrives, she is accompanied by Lysander, still protesting his love, and she is yet more provoked when Demetrius awakes and declares he adores her. The cross purposes are worsened when Hermia comes on the scene, Lysander and Demetrius both loving Helena. She now believing neither, Lysander rudely shaking off his betrothed Hermia, Helena and Hermia quarreling fiercely. The two young men go off to fight for Helena. The two young women continue their quarrel until Helena, saying, "My legs are longer," runs away. Oberon sends Puck to clear up the muddle, and when all four of the bewildered mortals are again near one another and all asleep, he squeezes juice on Lysander's eyes. When thou wakest, thou takest true delight in the sight of thy former lady's eye. Dramatis personae. Theseus, Duke of Athens, Aegeus, Father Hermia, Lysander in love with Hermia, Demetrius in love with Hermia, Philostrate, master of the revels to Theseus, Quince a carpenter, Snug a joiner, Bottom a weaver, Flute a bellows mender, Snout a tinker, Straveling a tailor, Hippolyta, queen of the Amazons, betrothed to Theseus, Hermia, daughter to Aegeus, in love with Lysander, Helena in love with Demetrius, Oberon, king of the fairies, Titania, queen of the fairies, Puck, a Robin Goodfellow, Peace Blossom fairy, Cobweb fairy, Moth fairy, Mustard seed fairy. Act 3rd, Scene 2nd. Other fairies attended their king and queen. Attendance on Theseus and Hippolyta. Another part of the wood. Enter Oberon. Oberon. I wonder if Titania be awake. Then what it was that next came in her eye, which she must dot on in extremity. Here comes my messenger. Enter Puck. How now, mad spirit? What night rule now about this haunted grove? Puck. My mistress with a monster is in love. near to her close and consecrated bower, while she was in her dull and sleeping hour. A crew of patches, rude mechanicals that worked for breed upon Athenian stalls, were met together to rehearse a play intended for great Theseus' nuptial day, the shallowest thickskin of that barren sort who Pyramus presented in their sport, forsook his scene and entered in a break, when I did him at this advantage take, and as snow I fixed on his head, anon his thist must be answered, and forth my mimic comes when they him spy, as wild geese that the creeping fowler eye, or russet pated cows, many in sort, rising and cawing at the gun's report, sever themselves and madly sweep the sky, so at his sight away his fellows fly. And at our stamp, year o'er and o'er one falls, he murder cries and help from Athens calls. Their sense thus weak, lost with their fears thus strong, made senseless thing begin to do them wrong. For briars and thorns at their apparel snatch, some sleeves, some hats from yielder, all thing catch. I led them on in this distracted fear, and left sweet Pyramus translated there. When in that moment, so it came to pass, Titania waked, and straightway loved an ass. Oberon, this falls out better than I could devise, but as though yet latched the Athenian's eyes, with the love juice as I did bid thee do. Puck, I took him sleeping, that is finished too, and the Athenian woman by his side, that when he waked or forced she must be eyed.